What's up, traders? Happy Wednesday. It is the Chan Man. Hope we're all doing well this week. Super excited, guys, to share my thoughts in this video. As always, I want to talk about the market, but I do want to dive right in here and start with Nvidia. They were the last big tech name on my watch list to report earnings. We just got the numbers, so I want to dive deep into those, discuss it a little bit, and then obviously share my thoughts on the overall market, and we can guide ourselves into the rest of the week. So right into Nvidia, we can see right now, guys, the reaction is down. Let's take a look at the earnings. We had our earnings per share 1.36, estimate was 1.3. Revenue came in at 8.29 billion, estimate was 8.1 billion. So technically, Nvidia did beat on both fronts here, earnings per share and revenue. However, they did not give the best forward guidance. They see their Q2 revenue of only 8.1 billion versus the estimate of 8.44. So that is the real reason why Nvidia is down currently. And if we just hop into Thinkorswim, we can see here that Nvidia has also increased their share buyback program by up to a total of 15 billion. See if there's any other major blips in here. Other revenue decreased due to decline in cryptocurrency mining, processor revenue. Let's see, data center revenue. So I won't bore you guys with all the numbers. Long story short, Nvidia is down on earnings with not the best report. However, let's go talk about the expected move. And the expected move on Nvidia heading into its earnings report was about 18 points. So if we just look at the downside move here from where we closed at around 169-ish, 18 points gets us right around this 152 range, where obviously Nvidia currently is starting to wick away from. So we're going to dive deeper here, team, but one of my favorite trades to focus on is after earnings, when a move does not make the expected move. So if Nvidia does not open below 152-ish, then they're going to crush these premiums. And then whenever they decide to do with the stock, that gives us an opportunity to go and buy those premiums at a cheaper price and then play the inflation right back into them. So that being said, guys, let's dive deep into Nvidia here. Just want to cover a few levels and a few scenarios that I think are possible for the old girl. So if we take a look at a few things, guys, one is I want to focus on liquidity, where again, it is gapping down on earnings here. We have a very, very large zone to deal with. And specifically, the largest level is roughly this 156-ish, where we bottomed at it last week. We kind of, have been flirting with it here this week. And then on earnings, all we do is kind of stick the wick in it and we're right back out of it. So as long as it continues to hold above this zone, want to be mindful of a lot of chop on Nvidia, but also potentially working its way back to liquidity if they do decide to buy this dip. Current zones, guys, for liquidity are roughly that 174-ish, which is where point of control is. And then we have our daily mean currently up above near 183-ish, at also a very, very large zone. So as right now, Nvidia is kind of stuck in the middle here and very well could continue to just go from zone to zone to zone. But I do want to zoom out and just go get some extra levels to the downside together. Let's try and go and find a good one here that we can add. So you guys see I have that 140 is just kind of the last level. And, we do have a little bit of a baby gap fill based on these levels. So we'll just add that and then we'll add the low as well. Give us a few targets here. So again, guys, I want to be patient on Nvidia. I want to see where it opens this week. But again, if it does not open below 152, or for some reason completely reverse and open above here, then they're going to destroy the premiums that were inflated. We went into today, the earnings report, with about 190% implied volatility. That is an option seller's dream. That is going to get sucked right out of Nvidia at open. And again, it's a chance for us to actually play the move, whether it be up or whether it be down. So again, a few scenarios here, guys. If it does gap down and we kind of set a little cover, pop it open and crush the premiums, I want to pay attention to this 162-ish range to potentially look to short it right back down, finish the job towards that 150 range. Any more, we could focus on 142. Vice versa, where if it does just continue to hold 156, it might be a place to look to go long. But again, if we can't get through here, be mindful of the drop. Or if we do get through it, we obviously want to focus on getting back to our earnings high. And then right above that is our point of control. So again, this is all that's really worth sizing up at the moment, guys. Not going to look at any strikes because I don't know what they're going to open at. But as always, we want to kind of box in them. The moves, want to focus on strikes that align with those, and obviously getting them at a cheaper price than where they currently closed at. But based on these levels, We'll see what Nvidia wants to do in the morning, but I will definitely be having a focus on it. But other than that, let's jump right into the market because we are setting up very, very nicely here. So today was our FOMC minutes. We had our release of the FOMC report. And as you guys can see, all we did was take a nice drip to point of control and then explode. And if we actually go back here to last FOMC, it was right here. We had the same scenario where we dropped a point of control and then we ripped into close. And then they completely sold us off for like 2 weeks straight. And they brought us back to very large ranges that we continued to fail. And so it's reminding me a lot of what's happening right now, where if we just zoom in, guys, to our current chart here, get on my pen. Right, a few key levels to note. One is the daily mean at 21 EMA is currently up above in this white dashed line, call it 40-50-ish. Probably take a step down here towards that 40-30-ish, once futures reopen. But 2 point of control levels, guys, I want to focus on. One is that 40-13-ish, and one is this little crowded here, but 39-30-ish. And that is, again, we're on FOMC today. We went up to our zone, we failed, which is, again, where we failed here, and where we closely failed this morning. But we had that dip to POC, we held nicely, and all we did was rip right back to it. Obviously, a little bit down here on Nvidia earnings, and that again is a catalyst that we want to pay attention to. If Nvidia continues to drop, it's going to have a toll on technology. Where if Nvidia does turn around, we'll see what the market wants to do here. But one thing I am really sizing up, and let me actually just get a little more space. Here we go. So one thing I'm sizing up right now is this structure here from the lows of last week. We had a beautiful drop on Friday, big cover pop back above a major key level. We retested the zone, giving us some structure to work with. We didn't quite get near it here this morning. That was something that I was looking for. We did end up working our way to the top of that zone, and then again, right to the bottom, and then right to the top. So for tomorrow, guys, I want to continue to just target these 2 major areas. One is here, where if we do end up, working our way back but can't get through it, want to focus on that drop back towards structure. And if we end up breaking that structure, want to focus on that point of control. And then from there, right back towards 3,900 and, so on and so on and so on. But if we do end up, potentially rolling and holding that structure, want to look, guys, for that push through this key zone towards this 40-13. And then from there up towards the daily mean. So again, this is our roadmap, guys. NVIDIA will have its impact, whether it be good or bad, and the market's going to do what the market's going to do. But this is where, at least for now, we've continued to kind of find that resistance. And if we do fail, looking for a push to structure. From there, be open-minded, because we could bounce nicely back up to more liquidity, or we could completely pull the rug and just continue to sell off, looking for one zone at a time. So let's go look at NQ, because NVIDIA will have a bit more of a pull on that one. But lucky for us, always makes trading a little bit easier when the overall market is working in very similar manners. And right now, guys, NVIDIA is doing the same. We are just struggling very, very hard right at this key range, right around this 12,100. Another point of control level, guys, to mark is this 12,293, and then roughly around this 12,000-ish range. You can just round up a little bit. But these are the levels that we want to consider, along with our structure, where if we do continue to fail, whether it be this 12,000 to 12,100, if we continue to fail in these ranges, want to target that structure. And then from there, target the breakdown to zone, so on and so on. Where again, if we do just kind of find our feet and hold liquidity, right? Hold this point of control. If we get through this 12,100-ish range, then we can seek our other point of control. We can seek the daily mean. So there's still a lot of liquidity above that the market has a chance to get to, but it's also one of those scenarios where if we just can't get through basic, supply and demand, it clearly tells the market is not obsessed with seeking all of this liquidity. It might be comfortable here, they drop at a structure, and they continue to drop this thing lower. Or maybe, guys, we sit in this range and we just chop, 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 chop. But again, being mindful of structure, this could take, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, who knows? But keep an eye, guys, on both of these higher lows that the market is starting to establish. ES is a bit sharper here, so it's going to have to make up its mind. But NQ does have a little bit more flexibility. So hope this makes sense, guys. Keep an eye on both. Let's take a quick look at VIX. So again, the typical VIX relationship that I always like to lay out, where if the market is going to go higher, and if we do see it seek liquidity to the upside, we really need to see this relationship and that drop towards 25. And then just like every time, the past few times it's gotten to 25 and we've actually gotten up towards the daily mean, it's been a phenomenal place to short it. So we'll see if we get that. But if we do just linger here and VIX does start to work its way back into these top ranges, well, then the market's going to roll right back over. But as we can see, guys, we are kind of stuck in these ranges. So make sure that we're just timing things properly. But that being said, I want to share a few more setups with you guys. One of them being Shopify. Shop. So if we zoom out and look at Shopify here, last few weeks had that big implosion right to a major key zone. They didn't end up testing it, but man, oh man, did they cover right back to liquidity. And long story short, we're slowly working our way back. So for Shop, guys, want to keep a very close eye on this one and also be open-minded of trading in both directions. We're currently here, it's stuck under a POC level, which is 340. And as long as we're under 340, going to look for continuous rollovers to this 322. And if we break it, looking to retest that 305-ish range. If we do hold 305 like it did last time, we also can see exactly what happened last time, which is potentially a very large cover pop off of that key level. And specifically, guys, again, I'm going to continue to seek out liquidity, 340, 360, first targets here, and 370-ish, right back to these ranges. Where again, if it does fail here, I think it's a good short to 322-ish, 316, right back to 305. So pretty quick, guys, but that's my thoughts on not Nvidia, thoughts on Shopify. Again, it is kind of range bound here, but it's been breaking down nicely. Took a little bit of a day off today. But again, I think as long as they're under 340, they could work their way through and hold and then continue to go higher. But as long as they're under 340, I'd like to see if they could take a trip to this key zone. And obviously, guys, doesn't have to bounce here. It could break down and finish it, but being very mindful of a potential turnaround at that 305. And again, rejections at this 340. Loving out Shop's offering here. Now let's see, guys, between SPX, Shopify, and Nvidia, that is plenty to focus on. But I do want to talk about one more, which is Roku. So again, just like Shopify, guys, very large levels in play. 75 on earnings was huge. We got there a few weeks ago, absolutely exploded, just like Shop. And Roku was kind of the first to get here this week, rallied nicely. Actually played this one up to the zone today. But you guys can see we got a little bit of structure to work with from these highs, or if I just kind of connect it perfectly from here to here to here, we're kind of lining up right at it. So again, I'm not obsessed with this structure because it will end up breaking overnight. But something to consider is, again, if it does fail at this key zone, it could easily roll right back down and could be a good short. Where again, if it does kind of break these lower high patterns and then hold that key zone, targeting guys 88 and then potentially a push back towards 95 if and when the market is strong. But personally, guys, not a super bull on Roku. Again, I am someone who's open-minded to buying at major key levels. But once you get back to major zones, if it does fail this 84-ish, I think they could go right back down. Or if they do kind of break the structure and hold it, maybe they just go sideways. But I also believe that they could work their way towards, that 90 range to 95-ish. So both are pretty decent trades here. And again, you guys can see the relationship last time. Ripped off of that key level, topped at around that 80-ish, and then continued to liquidity. So today or yesterday kind of ripped off of it. And we're kind of back at that same spot. So we'll see if it gets through it. We'll see if it goes lower. Personally, I think can offer some decent opportunity on both sides. So that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you found value and I appreciate your support. Again, we covered ES and Q, VIX. We covered Nvidia, their chart and their earnings. And then we touched a little bit on Roku here. So definitely plenty of opportunity the rest of the week. I wish you guys the best. Go kick butt, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Hey, Focus Chain here with Simpler Trading. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything that we do. And if you want to see us trade our money live in real time, go to simplertrading.com and you can sign up for more. But happy trading, guys. Stay focused. I'll talk to you in the next video.